Now, why would I, with my own life, my mind, my heart, my soul, go out?
It's not yours, bro.
Oh, God, fuck, right. It's Josh's, right?
If you have a kid, you have a son, and your son has a son. If you had an option to make either him happy or you happy, what would you choose?
Between my son or
Your
me?
son's son or you?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Bros Think Big podcast. This is the show where we talk about the simple and yet complicated ideas of self-improvement. Tune in and join us as we become the best versions of ourselves so you guys can too. Remember to like and subscribe for more and comment down below on what you want us to hear or talk about. Sorry. Fricker, welcome back right off the bat.
How you doing? It's been a while.
Good. It has been. You've been dodging us. You've been dodging us. What's that about? He's been dodging us.
I haven't been dodging, I'm just a busy guy. That's just all it is. I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, I get it.
I think we should just question him the
bullshit.
entire time and give him an interview.
Good idea.
I'm not letting him leave until he answers my fucking questions. Where have you been? No, I'm just kidding.
Good question. I'm still not going to tell you.
Well, now, what are we going to be talking about? We're actually going to be reviewing. This is our first time doing a review.
Case study.
Shut the fuck up! I'm sorry.
That was rude.
It was. I apologize.
I don't care.
This is our first time doing a review on a video, and we're actually going to be reviewing Andrew Tate's 10 Rules of Life. We actually heard one of you guys mention down below to talk about it, review, and let us know what we think about it. So that's what we're going to do.
Did that?
Alright? Yeah. So, are we ready? Let's begin. Fricker, we're going to have you lead the charge.
Are we going 10 to 1 or we
Guys, we're going to drop the video in the
Why would we start at 1?
Yeah,
We're going to go from 10 to 1.
Well, no, listen. So what we'll do is we'll drop the link to the actual video. It's like 30 minutes long. But what we're going to do is pretty much go over it, how we can help these guys implement these rules. If we disagree, whatever, talk about it, how they can help them.
And share our opinions about it.
Share our opinions about it. So I'm going to start off. It goes from 10 to 1. I'm just going to go down.
Because it's not really like...
It's not ranked. It's not ranked or anything. It's just rules that he said. So,
from 10 to 1.
Yeah. So, number 10. Embrace suffering.
Struggle.
Embrace suffering. I mean...
I wrote down struggle.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
He talks about being uncomfortable and taking on things that seem scary, like taking on different battles.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like kind of like a no-brainer and like...
I agree. I think nonetheless... Struggle is kind of what builds you. The hard times is what builds you. It's where you learn the most. It's where you grow the most. It's the core of growth.
What suck the words out of my mouth. It was so...
Dude.
Like, you're just not real.
It was ego. Ego's too high.
I was gonna say no-brainer.
You're going to suck the words out your mouth. What?
So I think we're actually going to stop number 10 and let's move on to number 9.
No. So
like
embrace suffering, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about what is suffering nowadays? What is suffering? Doing uncomfortable things, getting outside your comfort zone, whatever. So when we try to embrace suffering, that's just like things that kind of make you nervous, but you're kind of excited about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you can think of struggling as degeneracy.
But they're
Yeah,
not struggling.
I'm just joking. I say degeneracy.
Good point.
No, you're right, because like struggle in today's society is different than how it was back then. Because struggle was something everybody kind of went through back then.
Yeah.
Like it was just in your face. You couldn't escape it. But now a lot of people can really escape it. They don't really have to do a lot of things that are like facing their fears, you know what I mean? That's why a lot of people, you see, they run away from their fears. And they have a lot of fears because they avoid them. That's why like a lot of people are really weak and they're scared and all that kind of stuff.
Very true.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. So you have to face your fears and face the things you're uncomfortable with, just so you can get stronger and you can get comfortable with the fears and uncomfortable situations. Not because you want to pursue that thing, just face it so that way you get stronger. That's it.
That's how you become a better person for yourself.
Sure. Yep.
He also mentioned about like people making excuses and saying, I worked hard this whole week, I'm just going to take one day off. But what they don't see is that person that's, for example, businessman is not taking days off. He's keep working. So it's like a big competition in this world. And the moment you start taking one day off, there's other millions of people that are not taking days off. So you have to always keep that in mind that life is like competition. So when you're taking breaks, somebody else isn't taking breaks. So
that actually lines up with the next rule, which is the three things that hold people back.
The reason why they're not successful.
Yeah, which is they're stupid, they're arrogant, and they're lazy. Which is kind of similar to what Georgie said. Like,
before we even say anything, I think we should say how Tate phrased it. I believe he said like 10% of the population.
You're right. You're so right.
Was it? Do you recall? Was it?
So it's the smallest category is just people are just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
He did it in percentage. I think it was like 5% of people that cannot actually get success.
No. He said there's three reasons why people fail: laziness, arrogant, and stupid.
It was something along the lines.
Yeah,
he phrased it differently.
Only
but-
He said most of them are lazy, and that's why they fail. He said like 10% is
stupid, I think.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And then
arrogant
stupid,
is the
lazy,
one that
then arrogant.
mostly.
People aren't successful because they're mostly arrogant.
Yeah, that was like the highest percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was actually kind of different. I think he was said like there's three, like the only three reasons why people can't actually get successful is because like 5% of them that cannot actually get successful are just stupid. They cannot achieve success. Another like 20% is just arrogant, and then the other like 85% are just lazy. And it's kind of
I think it's arrogant. They're more arrogant than
is
lazy.
the highest percentage.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, regardless, it just comes to show how those are the two biggest deal breakers. You can't be lazy in this world anymore, and it's 2023. If you're an ambitious person, you have high goals. Being lazy is not going to get you there.
And if you're watching this episode, you're probably not stupid. So you're one of the other two, lazy or arrogant.
Yeah. So
acknowledge that.
When Tate talks about being arrogant, he specifically says, "If you know so much, then why are you still broke?" That's what he said to the arrogant people, because they like to walk around with their ego. Oh, like I already know how to do this, but I'm not this yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. Everyone thinks they know what to do, and it's a shame because no one's really humble. No one that's literally a blockage from success. You have to be humble. You have to kind of push past that ego. Everyone has ego. Like
People
crazy.
don't respect mentorship anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody wants.
They think you're doing it themselves.
Yeah, a person that is on a higher level than them, even a boss, and to respect them because they're at higher level than you. Know what I mean?
So he even brings up some example. He said this whole thing he has with like 18-year-olds. He teaches them about stuff. He was like, one of the guys was saying, he was like, can he really teach me how to make this money? And then Andrew Tate got mad. He was like, I mean, this kid to tell me like if I can actually teach him when he has nothing to he has nothing. He has no money. He has no experience. And then he goes like, it's just funny how people are just arrogant. I mean, they see clearly that you're able to make that amount of money, but they still believe that you can't help them and that you can't teach them. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I mean, like a lot of people are like that. What they don't understand is that there's always going to be someone in life that you're going to come across that's going to be better than you in some sense. So, like, the competition is always there.
I
So
think his course is a little
humble
bullshit, but that's like beyond the point.
Wait, what?
I think his course is like bullshit. I mean, I don't think that kid would like. That's probably what he meant with like the course can't really help him to that specific success.
Yeah, maybe,
that's what I personally think. But like that's beyond the point.
Yeah, but the idea is that people are gonna still like look
question
at you.
it. They're gonna question
They
it.
look at you and they see you're successful, but they're still gonna question, how can you teach me something? You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy.
At least take a little bit of information about that person because they got something.
Yeah, I agree.
And
So I
if
guess
you're not
you're
arrogant, you gotta have speed.
Yeah.
Speed is key.
And the next one is
Yeah, next topic is speed is key. This is probably the one that was an eye opener to me. I mean, it sounds so.
Remember when I showed you the video that he made? Like before we made the whole podcast
Yeah,
and everything?
yeah.
Remember I showed but you guys,
yeah,
we sat in the room, I
yeah.
showed you guys the video that he made?
I do remember that.
I do,
and it's
yeah.
very true.
I
wanna sum
never
it up?
really
Sum it up.
acknowledged it until when you showed it. It was the first kind of eye opener. It kind of always roamed at my pace, never really concerned about my speed.
People are
but I
slow.
didn't realize-
People are slow. That's why they don't get anything done.
Mhm.
That's exactly why speed is key. It's so easy to beat your competition if you're fast. But being fast does not mean being non-efficient. It's being efficient but fast at what you do.
Speed really just means getting done is better than perfect. That's how I like to see it.
I was actually going to rephrase it in the same way. Kind of in the sense that the best way to speed the best way to get things done is to just go at it if you constantly sit back and try to learn, but you never take action, it's gonna set you back a lot more than the person that just decides, fuck it, I'm gonna try this, let's see if it works. Probably will not work. Definitely will not work, matter of fact. But that's okay, they learn from it and they keep on going, but just by starting like that, taking action, instead of thinking back, trying to have the perfect plan, which is, I'm not saying you don't need a plan, but sometimes you just gotta send it and take action rather than just continuously learn for 6 months and learning back.
And planning too much but without doing anything.
Exactly. It's the doing that matters.
But yeah, it was definitely eye-opener for me as well when I watched that. Because when What?
Was it?
Yeah, because you know how he brought up the example of somebody making a music video, and then he was like, I made a music video in like less than.
It took this guy 6 months to make an album, but Tate made a song in like 3 days or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he said, I didn't want it to get views or make money out of this music. He said this. He's like, I wanted to show him that he could have got this done way faster. That's what people don't understand. I mean, I think we're all guilty of this too. When we think that we're able to do certain thing in 2 weeks, for example, we're actually able to do it faster. It's just in ourselves that we just say it just takes time. It just takes. Sometimes it's not about that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just about you not hustling enough for you to get it done fast.
You know? I love it.
Yeah. But obviously some things take time. It's not going to come fast. It shouldn't be a thing where it's
be patient.
Speed is the only thing, and if I don't get there fast, that means like I need to quit this and do something else. Like sometimes that's not the case.
Right.
But the idea is what you said, like getting started at what you want to do. You know what I mean? Moving to that next step and trying to make that progress work.
It's also
trying to change something bit by bit every day. I think that's what the speed is key defined as.
And if you're going too fast, you miss the competition.
Yeah.
Which transitions to.
You're missing a lot of things.
I saw you open your mouth.
What?
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, it's also momentum too. When you're going fast and fast and fast, it builds up momentum. That's just, success really is just exponential, right?
Yeah.
So if you're constantly doing fast, momentum, doing something, failing, succeeding, you're gonna be successful at some point. If you're doing things efficiently and fast.
Exactly.
I agree.
Next
be competitive. Rule number 7.
Be competitive.
Yes.
Be competitive.
Yeah.
Rule number 7. Actually, something I want to mention about this is one of the reasons why I think this kind of fell off is when you're younger, you know how kids are always like playing sports, or in high school, middle school, it's kind of like you're expected to play sports and you like be looked at cooler. Once you're out of high school and I guess college too, like people just stop. People literally just stop playing sports.
Yeah, dude.
Just because I think that kind of dies down the competitiveness aspect. But as a man, I feel like it's natural to be. It's a natural thing to be competitive. I mean, status is kind of everything in my eyes.
I think if anyone were to say anything about competitiveness, I feel like it has to be me, due to my nature.
How do you go?
Stop the cam!
Come on. But I do have to share. I did remember. I do remember watching a video that said you shouldn't be that competitive. You know, you're going against yourself, and as true as that is, competition just drives men. It is just an innate nature of a human, of a man. That's just what makes a man. If you're not competitive, you're a pussy, you're a woman. You have way too much estrogen in your body, and that's really
drinking too much milk.
Andrew Tate actually always brings up. He actually, like, a lot of cases, he always brings up like the history back then when he was like in the old days where they had to like fucking kill each other for see who was stronger. And bro, like that shit is like really like for you to think about it, because if all these people were in the old days, most of them would be fucking dead right now, because they have they're not trying to compete against no one.
They're easy pickings.
Right, exactly. So it's like back in the old days they were competitive to who was stronger, but now it's just like our status shows, like our money or like how successful we are with anything. I mean, mostly like money, you know what I mean? Like
there's always someone who wants the girl that you
status.
want.
I want the best for all you guys, but I want to beat the fuck out of you guys.
Exactly.
But do you think there's a level to competition though? Like, do you look at it that way, or do you just say competition? That's it.
What does it really mean, competition? What are you really competing for? All the materialistic stuff that people like to sell.
I think it's a good thing to have in you, especially it's in men's nature, and you shouldn't take it out. Otherwise, you're a woman, just like how Josh said. But I feel like competition can't get in your head, because I think it can actually destroy you. I think competition has to be in you, but it has to be controllable. Because whatever you don't control controls you. So everything has to be controlled by you, otherwise it controls you. So I think too much competition manipulates you to the point where you're saying, I have to beat them. You don't always have to beat them. You have to just be better than who you were yesterday, because somebody's at a different level. Like, there's leagues to this stuff. We talked about this.
Yeah, Kaizen.
What?
Kaizen.
1%
better every day.
Part of me actually didn't necessarily like agree with what you guys were saying, just because I feel like what I took away from the being competitive is you should be competitive within yourself. Drive yourself to be better than what you were yesterday, which is literally all this podcast is about. The best version of yourself. I think I just
that might be the weirdest fucking handshake I've ever seen. This
is why my point is right and yours was wrong.
Holy shit.
That's some competition right there.
That's why he got a deb up and you didn't. From me. Because I'm him.
No, that was wonky as fuck. But still, regardless.
We can get a better one then.
Regardless.
There we go.
Regardless. My point is that I think you should be competitive within yourself. As important as to be with the others, I don't necessarily like the whole I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you type motto.
That shit is so cringe, bro.
He was literally just saying a couple of seconds ago, you gotta be humble, and that's a big part of it. And a lot of people sometimes competition overtakes humbleness. Because how could it not? Like, dude, if I'm in a fucking race and I beat someone, like, it's your first instinct to just rub it in their face. I'm better than you.
And bro,
that's what competition is saying, but that's not what you should necessarily do.
People are probably gonna say right now, like, who is he to talk about him? But like, I honestly feel like Andrew Tate is probably like not that type of person to be humble. You know what I mean? Like, he's always talking about how he's the top G and no one else is the top G, and he's the one, and he's like the best human being, and he's the strong and he's the toughest. He goes like, nobody has gone through what I've gone through and all that stuff. I feel like he needs to fucking like understand that
more.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to understand that.
Yeah.
He's like he needs to get humble basically. I don't want to
you know what a successful person says? The time you know you are successful is when other people talk about your success, but you're quiet about it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times it's the opposite. People like to show off who they are, then let other people talk about your success, because other people talk about your success when they see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Like, do you guys think he's humble or no?
Do
you guys agree with what I said?
Like, what do you? What?
Like how he always says, like, I'm the best.
Definitely his old self used to be, but ever since like he became more religious, I guess he's been.
I think he kind of got humbled in jail.
Since, as Sasha puts it, remember 3
Honestly,
Faces?
yeah.
I don't know. We don't know what he is when he's by himself, so I will not comment on the matter.
Beautiful.
What he is on social media is definitely not who he is by himself.
Money.
So I don't know if he's humble or not.
You hit the money spot, Josh.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. He's showing himself the way he is, so we can't really expect him to be different, because he's there most of the times. He even says it. He's always there on social media. Like, he goes on
the broke boys.
He goes on podcasts all the time. So I feel like the thing with that is also we even had an episode about that, like how people are fake on social media. So why are you doing that? You know what I mean? So I feel like Andrew Tate isn't really different from how he acts there. I'm just because I've seen him on reality shows. He's always been like that. You know what I mean?
It's a great topic, but let's
yeah, of course,
that on, maybe we debate that another day.
Of course.
But,
What's next? No drugs, no
next?
vape.
Yeah, if there is one competition you want to go against other peers, compete on not doing drugs.
Yeah.
Or just like it's easy to beat people who do drugs and vape.
Never in my life.
These are words from Tate himself. He said, "You don't need a vape, breathe air." That's what he said.
I think everyone's.
Then why are you vaping?
No one's vaping here.
You know, I
vaping.
fully believe.
That's not a good thing to bring up. Like
90% of the millionaires or billionaires do not vape. I have like full genuine belief, or maybe like 80%.
No, I can tell you. I'm sorry to cut you off, but there is apparently some drug going around that a lot of successful people are taking. I think it's called ketamine. Ketamine is very new, but
and it's a drug, right?
something like that.
Well, do you know why they
it's
take
not
that
a
drug?
drug.
It's because their life isn't really fulfilled when they're successful. So they're not really successful, and that's why they're taking the drug, because they're actually not satisfied with their life and they're not successful.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's why they're not.
Damn.
That's why they take the drugs.
Yo, Fricker snapped. I like that.
You know where this all came
That's
from?
fact.
Hamza's video, right, Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
Good
He's
job.
near video. Watch it, guys.
Check out
Great
Hamza if you
video.
haven't.
Great.
Yeah, let's see. I have to get a good transition.
And he also
going.
says a good thing. He says, why people do this? In the young age, they don't smoke, they don't vape, they don't do any drugs, and then once they're rich, they go like, let me try this. And then he says this, the reason why I don't
Because
do
they're
it,
lost.
right? He says, let me talk, bruh. He says, the reason why I don't do it is because all these years I didn't do any drugs, I didn't smoke anything. Why would I do it now? Why would I try it now? You know what I mean? Like, there's really no point of you doing it. Just because you got a lot of money and just because you almost reached your potential, not full potential, but your like success doesn't mean you should do it. Because, I mean, honestly, all these years you got through without drugs, without smoking, and you did just fine. Why are you doing it now? You know, like, that's actually really stupid.
You know, Mike said it very well. You're lost. They have a void, and the way to fix that void, at least one way, is by finding a mentor, which transitions to our next.
Or finding your purpose. To fill in the void is to find your
I want to
purpose.
stay on this and say something real quick. I feel like a lot of people need to understand that the universe really provides a lot of things. Why? Did you not want me to say it?
No.
We
I know the face
just cut him off. So, anyways, you say what you're saying.
No, you didn't cut me off.
I said, can I say something?
No,
I
it's
didn't
just messing around.
Just ignore the ego. Just ignore the ego.
Alright, I was just going to say, I feel like a lot of people need to know that they don't need this human-made stuff like drugs and vapes, all that kind of stuff, just to keep people distracted and you know, destroy their brain cells, all that kind of stuff, and you know, make them like slaves and stuff, because that's really the real goal. But I feel like universe really offers a lot of stuff, and nature, all that kind of stuff that is natural that you can get to, you know, strengthen yourself and like become a better version than yourself, than using all this stuff to make you feel good at the moment, but in reality you're not really connected to the world at all. You're like literally living outside of your body.
Yeah. I think we should make a separate topic on like the whole poison and the toxins and
I'll definitely
all
go into that.
over. Yeah. I think that would be a great topic. Nonetheless, finding a mentor.
Josh?
Like what Josh said.
If you're lost, you need a mentor.
Yeah, no, I feel like something I have to say. I often, like, I always hear people say you need a mentor, which I think is a great idea, because who are you going to learn from better than the person that did it themselves? I think it's a great idea, but by all means, I don't think it's a necessity. I think you learn best with your own journey. Maybe not the most successful, which isn't necessarily what you wouldn't want to shoot for, but I feel like the most fulfilling way would be by doing it yourself. But that's just my opinion.
You're like currently at the North Pole. I'm at the South Pole. that's how I feel.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Because part of me, like, I don't know. Something with the mentor. Because people basically saying, I know, I get it.
Because I saw this quote. Well, I don't think it was. It was something. It was something. Maybe a picture. I don't know. But I was. It was something. Not many things I will say catch my eye, and I remember. For it to catch my eye, it means something. Knowledge is learning from your own mistakes. Wisdom is from learning from others' mistakes. That's the whole purpose of a mentor, is rather than, again, I get your point, which is what I'm not fully against, is you don't necessarily need it, but I think it's an absolute key to growing at a faster rate, which is what we all want. Right? You don't want to wait 40 years to be successful. You want to be successful sooner rather than later. The way to really go from level 1 to level 10 the fastest way possible is by having someone that's done it that you can learn from.
That's a good point. I agree with that.
Knowledge is learning from your own mistakes. Wisdom is by learning from others' mistakes.
Okay.
So you don't make those mistakes.
That's a good point. I like the way you put that.
When he says find a mentor, though, in this rule, he also talks about not having a plan, which it's kind of like not the same as finding a mentor, but if you nothing happens on accident. He goes to explain no successful person became successful on accident. They put together a plan. They did specific things that made them successful, and you can't just aimlessly do things. You need a plan.
Sure. Yeah,
it's good. It's
good. Don't worry.
But I actually had that written down and realized in the video, if you actually watch it, I don't even think. I know he didn't go into the video. He doesn't even mention mentor. I have it written down. He goes more into having a plan rather than a mentor. So I forgot to read that.
Wait, I have that written down too. Find a mentor. It was one of the rules.
No, it was the rule, but
like
elaboration
on it.
Yeah, the elaboration. I actually don't think he mentioned mentor at all. Like,
well, he says find a person who did it before you and learn from them. Yeah.
He goes like he goes like this. He goes like this is a shortcut to life.
But another thing he talked about was having a plan.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
While doing something.
No, but he definitely did mention that.
Yeah, because some of the rules he really didn't just go to that specific topic. He kind of like went
Oh,
around
okay.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did talk about having a plan and having a vision, not just, going at your goal aimlessly, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, finding
It's
a
a
mentor,
shortcut,
I think what Josh said is a good idea. I think it's also good to have faith in yourself and not just be blinded by the fact that just because somebody did before you and better than you, that doesn't mean that you always have to go and search for somebody else to teach you. I think you have to have a little bit of faith in yourself and build that strength within yourself that you can do something yourself, you know what I mean? Because you become weak by chasing people and trying to always do the things that they tell you to do and guide you through what they did, you know what I mean? Because people really do guide you through what they did, through their success, through their journey of success.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to tell you to do this specific thing if they didn't go through that. I mean, obviously, some people that like scam you through the course and stuff might tell you something else, but the idea is like finding a mentor is like a faster way to get to your goal and a smarter way too. Because if somebody spent 40 years at doing something and worked so hard from it, and they tell you that story and those steps and stuff, that's a lot of knowledge and wisdom and like a lot of experience that he just put through your head.
Yeah,
Just
you're right.
one hour
And
or
something else that, like a final little thought, is you also have to be wary of it because what works for the mentor might not work for you.
Uh-huh,
And that
exactly.
applies with everything. But then again, they're a mentor for a reason. These people are obviously qualified for their job unless you're getting scammed. But just be wary of that. That's all.
But nowadays, you really have to have
Yeah.
faith in yourself because there's really few people that really want to help you. Very few.
If you do decide to choose the extreme and not take the mentor, you're gonna have to do the next step.
Outwork everyone.
That was
Isn't that so
shit.
cute how we
was
said
very
that?
nice, yeah, that was-
Yeah, that was cute. Regardless, I don't even think we need to elaborate on this one too much. It's just straight up. You have to outwork everyone, guys. You need to put in the work. The more you input, the more you'll output.
Yeah, I like how.
It's actually
you know
really
who
easy
says
to win.
it? Says it doesn't take
Yeah,
take
I
a
don't know what
fucking
that is.
scientist to understand what I'm
understand it.
saying.
The more you put in, the more you
put
get
in,
out.
I think it's like Rich Piano. I don't know.
I have no idea. Regardless,
Rich piano, yeah.
if you hear everyone say it for a reason, guys. You are, if, like I said earlier in the video, if you're highly ambitious, you have these big goals you want to achieve, maybe you want to retire your parents, you gotta get to fucking work. That's all it is.
Get off that couch.
Yeah.
And then
Dude, the one thing that I caught in that video when this specific rule that he talked about was he said I'm the highest net worth. I have the highest net worth. Did you guys catch when he said that?
I remember it.
I do
Dude, I
remember,
was like,
yeah.
hell no, I know you ain't. Like, it was just very arrogant. for him to say. So that's
Just hating on Tate this whole
no. Listen. I'm saying the truth now.
No, yeah. He's
We
just
also
going
have
at
to
it
say
to
the truth
say
about
this
him. You
shit.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's really wrong for him to say I'm the like that comes with arrogance and me saying he's not humble. That's another reason. It's crazy because obviously Elon Musk make more than him. That one person. There's maybe other people, but like for him to say that, it was crazy. I caught it right away. I was like, no, dude, what are you talking about? It's really sucks when he's saying that. In my opinion.
I'm glad you shared that. Took it out of here. I felt like he needed that.
Yeah, he did.
It's
But,
necessary.
What do you guys think is one way
Do you
to
think it
outwork
wasn't a
everyone?
good thing for him to mention? For
I thought it was
people
out
or
of
for
pocket. I just thought.
Why?
What?
why do you think it was out of
Just
pocket?
wasn't correlated to what we were speaking about.
Well, we're talking
But
about
for him
Tate's
to mention
rules.
outwork everyone is like he's saying that he outworked everybody, but it's not true. What I'm saying is like we also have to see he's like what kind of person Andrew Tate is. Yeah, he wrote all these rules, but when some stuff he says really shouldn't be taken as like because he's saying it's right. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people when he would say this, a lot of people would probably be like, oh my god, Andrew Tate is the go, like he's the one that's making a lot of money. It's not true. That's how I think. That's why I shared it. A lot of people might get blinded by what he's saying all the time, but it's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, Georgie's
I
just
think
fucking
you
hates
really
Tate.
have to respect
I don't hate
what
him.
he says and
I'm
not just say like
I'm just
he
saying
had
it's
to
true.
get it out. Like he's hating
There's
on
no
him.
disrespect.
I think there was because I know you. You think this type of stuff is just calling somebody out and just hating on them, and you have to get it out of yourself. Sometimes it's just simply saying your opinion about that person and what you think, and maybe when other people are blinded by something, you just show them the way.
You don't
If-
think your
if that's
opinion
how
can be
you think.
disrespectful?
Oh yeah, of course you can. Anybody's
So that's
opinion
what
can be
that-
if you
disrespectful.
take it disrespectful though.
Dude, anything I tell you that is against you can be disrespectful.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean you have to take it disrespectfully. That's
Yeah.
why you see some people, you tell them simple truth that goes against their knowledge, they say that's disrespectful. No, it's not. It's the truth. that you just didn't know. You know what I mean? It's
But
not
Josh
always
is saying
like
that's
that.
disrespectful because how do we know that? How do we know Tate doesn't work hard on anything? Regardless,
He said he has the highest net worth.
Yeah.
He mentioned, he quoted him on it.
Again, what you were saying, stop making
So,
excuses.
alright, yeah, so pretty much stop making excuses. If you have big goals and you're really ambitious, you kind of have to like take away all the resistance, take away all the excuses, and just get to work. Because like, what else are you doing? Like, make excuses just waste time, which is not efficient and it's not fast. Just like speed is key. A lot of these rules you could take together and then form like a kind of like mindset. That's what these rules pretty much are. It's like a mindset that Tate kind of takes upon, like. And so, yeah, stop making excuses. We don't really have to define that. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, we had an episode on this before. Check it out if you guys want to learn more about it. Straight up, it's as simple as it can
Or just watch all our videos. Rule 2 is question everything. And he really goes, when he talks about this, he goes into depression. And how you should question what depression actually is.
What they tell you it is.
What they tell you it is. That's why it's question. You should question everything and kind of gather data, gather knowledge, and then form your own opinion. Because trying to find the actual truth is kind of like,
as much as you believe something, you still have to form your own opinion about it, just so you're sure in your head that that's just how it is.
Depression's not real.
Question: what did you guys think? Yeah, what did you think of the whole depression's not real?
Dude, I think he's right. Literally.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
he didn't say
really a
depression
made-up
is real. He
thing.
said depression is real. Just keep you being depressed forever and for a long time is fake.
No, he
That's
said
what
feeling
depression is.
depressed is real. Being depressed is not.
Yeah.
Feeling
Right,
depressed
okay, yeah,
is real.
exactly, yeah.
Being depression
Something like that,
or having depression is not a thing.
Yeah.
Because everybody feels sad at some point in their lives.
You
Like
could always
everybody's
think
going
positively,
through
yeah.
something, but it doesn't give you the right, no matter what, for you to stay in that position. Because life moves on. You stay in that position. Well, somebody else had something going on in their family too. They moved on. They did something. They improved. They reached success, but you didn't. You stayed there. So like life goes on, and like you have the rights, and it's like your duty. He says this too, that you have to keep going. It is really your duty.
Yeah, I agree with that. I made my girl. We had a talk on this too, and I could just not see her point of view. And the way I like to think is, why would I want to? Like, why would I want to let the whole depression thing take over me?
Why would you want to
I
believe in something that makes you weak?
That's what I'm
Wait,
saying.
she told you
Right.
that it's actually
She
true.
was just saying that she doesn't agree with the whole thing. And we were
What
just talking about
chemicals in your brain?
Yeah, and I did
drugs, happy.
I tried to disprove that
Okay,
too.
dookie
like,
doo,
shut
more
up.
drugs. I'm happy now.
Sometimes the things
fucking ridiculous,
I believe,
man.
sometimes the things that I believe is not even something I would argue. For example, this is not a state that I would argue depression is not real or real. But the reason I don't believe in depression is simply because if you look at the people who don't believe in depression, you look at the people who do believe in depression, who's better off?
Exactly.
Sometimes just the idea, you don't even have to full-heartedly believe it and argue it for your life. Not believing in depression will help you in the long run. That's it. Simple as
become
that.
what you
You won't be depressed if you don't believe in it. It's really, you'll have depressed feelings. You won't say, I can't stress this enough. Some just things that I believe in life are not something that I full-heartedly will convince anyone to do. It simply helps me become my best version of
It
myself.
serves you.
Exactly, and I think this is definitely one of those things that even if you believe the science, just don't believe it and it'll help you in the long run. Simple as that.
That's what he says. Say tomorrow it's proven by science and everything that depression is a thing, and people actually believe it. What do you think where do you think that's gonna get them? If they believe in something that slows you down, something that makes you weak, something that keeps you from doing what you have to do and keeping you back from being your best self, how can that be a good thing? Why not say, okay, it may exist, but why believe in it?
Yeah.
Have your depression. Please, be depressed if you want to, bro. Go ahead. I don't believe in it. That doesn't help me whatsoever.
I think
well
it is
said,
really
well
a
said,
psychological
very well
thing,
said.
and it's a made-up thing. It really is.
I agree.
It's a psyop.
People, and it connects to excuses too. People want to have this depression,
That's
so they
facts.
have an excuse
That's
that,
facts.
hey, I'm depressed, and that's why I'm this way. No, you're not. You're that way because, first of all, you believe in that thing that you have. That's why you're there.
You know what I mean? So people want to be weak and people want to make excuses so they can justify to themselves that that's why they're like in the bottom. You know what I mean? People are just weak and like making that much excuses that's just what they do.
Yeah.
And it's sad that society and government and science tries to back this stuff up. It doesn't help people, man.
Very true.
You know who used to not have depression at all?
Our ancestors.
Our ancestors.
So with that, honor your ancestors.
There we go.
That's the rule.
99 overall.
Dude,
time
yeah, exactly. The chemistry is going crazy.
The transition's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it was very interesting what he talked about here too. It was like
I
very
think so too, but
deep and
I actually did not agree with it.
Really?
And I'll explain why.
You're wrong. Tate said it. Tate said it. You're wrong.
Guys,
right.
fuck. I'm sorry. Please.
Tate is right. You're wrong.
Why?
He has money. He has money. Bitches, cars.
Why would I ever forget?
My
that?
car is a Bugatti, huh? Remember
It was my fault.
Yeah, right.
It was my fault. Why would I ever disagree with what is your color, Andrew fucking Tate, Bugatti? But my point in this is,
I actually want to hear it.
he was actually mentioning how, like, to the people, like, don't dishonor your ancestors from 200 years ago, and there's a couple things I don't know. Well, one is I actually don't believe that your ancestors 200 years ago were thinking about you right now. I don't believe it. Maybe they were. I don't know. That's different for everyone, but part of me just doesn't feel like that. I feel like they would only be thinking about their kids and their grandkids, not necessarily 200 years ago, but who knows. And I also don't think you should be doing something that will make them happy instead of you. And I've seen this. I'm selfish?
Yeah.
That's kind of what he means.
I've
But
seen this.
just- and-
Why would you?
I-
You said why would you do something to make them happy and not yourself?
And you know what? Actually, you're absolutely right. I am selfish. Because why would I not? Why would I, with my own life, my mind, my heart, my soul, go out?
It's not yours, bro.
Oh, God, fuck, right. It's Josh's, right? Why would I do my mind, my heart, my soul?
You didn't create
do-
yourself.
You should be glad.
trying to say?
You are Sasha. He's Georgie. That's my. That's
You're
Josh.
being arrogant.
That's me.
You should be glad
That
you
doesn't
have this
mean
body.
It's made by me.
I absolutely
I'm not
am
made
grateful.
by me.
I absolutely
My
am grateful.
parents
I'm-
made me to
guys,
start with.
Where am I saying I'm not? I was made. I made myself. What did I say? That's
Sasha thinks he's God.
What? No, I'm not.
That's what you mean, Sasha.
No, it's not. Listen,
You literally
listen.
said, "Why would I, with my body, my head,
So how does that have anything to do with me?
I could
making
fucking take your
myself?
body right now.
I think you guys,
Guys,
let him finish.
what the fuck? I want to roll that back so you guys can listen.
I think you're just not spiritual. That's why.
Maybe so. But
If you were spiritual, you wouldn't think
my
that
point
way.
is, and I think you have to be selfish. Why would I do what would make someone else happy instead of myself?
How about you would think this way? Make yourself happy while making others happy too.
You can do that too, but if their interests don't align with mine, I'm absolutely not gonna go put myself.
This
through
isn't
their
just
interests.
anybody. That's why it's mentioned.
This is
your
ancestors.
This is it,
your
it can
your
be whoever
family,
it wants. It can
your
be whoever it wants.
parents,
They're not
your
me.
brother. It matters the most.
So if Josh wanted me to become a doctor, but I want to be a lawyer, am I going to be a doctor just because Josh
That's a
wants me?
different story. That's not how it works.
How?
That's
So
not
if you
how
have a
it
kid,
either.
if you have a kid and your kid is a kid,
All right, fine. But let me realize.
and there was a choice between either you being happy or your kid's kid being happy, who would you be happy?
You myself.
Guys, I don't. So if my dad wants me to be a lawyer, but I want to be a
That's not the meaning of it.
That's not what we're talking
what are you
about.
saying?
If your kid, if you have a kid, you have a son, and your son has a son. If you had an option to make either him happy or you happy, what would you choose?
Between my son or
Your
me?
son's son or you? Your grandchild.
My grandson.
Your grandchild
I
or
would
you?
make my grandson happy.
Yeah, because
That's what it's about.
he's what? Your family. That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about. Ancestors.
Ancestors, your family.
Guys, he says, listen, he says, don't dishonor your ancestors.
Yes, and when he said that your ancestors, you have to respect your ancestors, like say 2,000 years ago, they didn't obviously specifically think that, hey, Sasha's because gonna I'm be doing able to this, do them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have this great grandson named Sasha who's gonna be
Yeah.
proud of
Yeah.
him. You don't even know those people back then. That's not how it works. The idea is they did their part in life, their duty, just so you could be here today.
Okay.
Those people that say build this roads today and this buildings, all that kind of stuff, like you're living in today's life because of them, and it's
I understand.
it's you paying your respect to them. It's simply just the respect, not the fact that I have to do everything and take away power from myself just to honor. It's not how it works. Just pay your
like respect that you can as much as
But
possible.
what is paying that respect? What is paying that respect?
It's definitely not doing what they tell
It's
you
just
to
having
do.
like good
Or
morals.
doing
said-
what they want you to? Is it doing what they want you to?
No, it's not.
Because in some
It's
cultures
not.
that is what it is.
No, I know. I don't agree with that because I was
Yeah.
never like raised by that culture. Because if I was, maybe I would think that way, but I wasn't. So
Yeah.
either way, what I think now is I don't think anybody should dictate how you should live your life and what your happiness should look like.
Yeah.
However, I think you have the right. Well, they have the right. Your parents, your family, all that kind of stuff, to have a say and for you to sit down and listen to them. Because no matter what, they're your parents and they play a big part in your life. That's all respect is. Disrespect is you getting up and you telling them, F you, your opinion doesn't matter, it's my life. Because what they're telling you is obviously wanting the best for you. So just sit down and listen. Maybe what they will tell you is something that sparks your mind and then it makes you happy like in 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what respect is when he says respect them. Not doing what they tell you to do. That's a different story.
Okay, no, that I agree with. I must have misunderstood it. I thought he was saying like do what will do them. Not necessarily do what will do them, but my point still stands. I don't think you should do anything just
That's why I
because
said
someone
he
else
was
wants
deep.
you
He
to
was
do it.
very
Yeah,
deep. That's
yeah.
why I said that.
Okay, now I get
Yeah.
it. That's what I mean. I misunderstood it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
Yeah, and he finishes
I'm
off
on
saying,
Sasha's side.
what?
I'm
No,
on Sasha's
I'm
side.
not saying he's wrong, but it's just some stuff that I just.
Respect
You
is
sounded
different.
selfish when
I
you
think-
first said it. That's
I
why.
I do. I
Both
think you
of
should be
only
selfish.
talked about the
I
extreme.
think you should be
In
selfish.
some cases,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In my
Selfishness is kind of self-love.
But when it comes
in a way,
to
but
when it comes to family and stuff like that, I mean, like you're such
Well,
a
like I said, it doesn't have to get in your head in a way that it dictates you and it controls you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same with selfishness. Selfishness. Same with competition, all that kind of stuff. You have to have it in you. It's an important
Yeah.
thing. You have to have selfishness in order to have self-love. If you don't have self-love, you can't love other people and anybody around you because you can't love yourself. So it has to start from self-love because you're selfish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a thing that you should eliminate. It's gonna destroy you, but it's not something you should let rule over you. Like me and nobody else, just me, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be there and nobody else. Somebody might like lead me in the life and lead me in the darkness, but I'm gonna be on my own. That's just not how it works.
Yeah.
You don't have to be selfish that way.
I agree. And wait, why were you saying why is me being selfish? What I said in the beginning with how my family, if my family wants me to do this and I don't want to do that, I was going to choose. But I want to do that. Why do you think of?
I didn't say that was selfish.
So you said that was that.
The
That's
way
what
you
I was
came
saying
off
in
at
the
first
beginning.
was selfish.
What was that? Do you remember?
You said if I forget what I fucking said. You know what? You're right, bro. You're good.
Yeah. Regardless. But my point is, you shouldn't do
I give up.
anything just because we're the same people that say I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. And to the
Yeah,
extent,
I
I think that still should apply to your family. If you don't want to do what your family thinks, then you don't have to. You do what you makes you happy.
I feel like there's an extent where you listen and you try to respect them, but there's a way where you're already an adult. You think your own way. You take the responsibility to build your life. If that life fails, it's on you. It's not on them. Sometimes it's hard for them to understand because they tell you, "Well, yeah, I'm your parent. I'm still worried about you," all that kind of stuff. But you have to take that responsibility on yourself, and they gotta let you do that because you have to man up and be like, "Okay, I know I might fail, but I am willing to take this risk and put this pressure physically and mentally just so I can become successful and eventually help you guys as well." You know what I mean? So I think it's that duty and that hardship that you have to take on as a man especially, and that's the kind of thing that you have to have.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Well, I think that was all.
That was
That
a
is
good
all
episode.
10 rules, guys. So,
Yeah, hopefully you guys really enjoyed this episode. Share this video. Hopefully it can help
Wait, we
other
need to
people,
get-
enlighten them.
Quote of the day.
Yeah.
Show it to Andrew Tate.
straight up, quote of the day. What
Wait,
color
read it for
is
us.
your...
No,
I spoiled it. I
Okay, go
spoiled
ahead.
it. I
Yeah, go
spoiled
ahead.
it. What color is your Bugatti, guys? By Andrew Tate.
No. Say it. Like,
What color is your Bugatti?
now tell them the
Bugatti.
story behind
That's
it.
inspirational.
It's cold.
It is cold. It is cold.
I'm motivated.
Are you?
I'm sure a lot of people already
Like
know
it.
I
that.
want a materialistic possession.
It's funny, man.
Yeah, do you know
Oh,
the story
bro.
behind it? We were talking about it. I think you weren't here. The story behind what?
Do you know the
colors
story
your
about
Bugatti-
it?
Yeah, of course.
Why do you think I'm asking you?
You don't know?
I do.
Question
Then you
everything.
said
I just want to know.
Yeah, I do.
What is that?
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
People, he gets out a Bugatti. He's like, people ask me, why'd you get my Bugatti this color? Why did I get my Bugatti this color? And he goes, well, but he's like, what color's your Bugatti?
I really don't think we need to elaborate on that, guys.
I'm sure 99.9% already know.
Yeah.
Shout out,
You're broke.
shout out. Great interview and inspiring by Sharon Craven 9802. Something with on YouTube. Something with that username gives me a hint that it might be a relative. I don't know what's giving it away with Bill's episode.
That was
probably.
Beyonce.
Could be. Regardless,
What color's
comment
your
down below if you want to get a shout out, guys. And
That was a good
once
episode.
again,
You guys should watch it.
Mike, thank you for coming
Yeah,
back on.
yeah.
We wish you come back on a lot of times, okay? And if you don't,
We missed
we'll
you,
kill
man.
you. Guys, regardless, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. For
Roasting
more.
big.
Remember to share the video.
You want to say if you do want to join?
No. I know you're getting that.
Yeah. If you want to join Hustlers Anniversary,
It's the real world.
My affiliate links in the bio.
have a good night, guys. Bro, big.
Roasting big.